Ever wondered about the infamous Tuskegee Syphilis Study and its profound impact on medical ethics? This controversial experiment, a grim chapter in medical and American history, unfolded over 40 years, from the 1930s to the 1970s. In the throes of segregation in Macon County, Alabama, the United States Public Health Service and the Tuskegee Institute embarked on a study. Their aim was to observe the natural progression of untreated syphilis, a contagious venereal disease. 600 African American men were drafted into this study. Among them, 399 were already grappling with latent syphilis, while the remaining 201 were disease-free and served as a control group. These men were hoodwinked into participating under the pretense of receiving free medical care for what was described as bad blood. The grim reality was that these men were never treated for their syphilis, a severe betrayal of trust. Over 4 decades, their disease was left to fester, even after penicillin became the standard treatment for syphilis in the mid-1940s. Instead of actual medication, they were given placebos like aspirin and mineral supplements, while local doctors were persuaded to withhold proper treatment. This deceitful study took a devastating toll on the participants. Many suffered from severe health complications, including blindness, paralysis, insanity, excruciating pain, and even death. This clandestine study remained under wraps until 1972, when Peter Buxton, a venereal disease investigator, blew the whistle. Despite the outcry, Public Health Service officials chose to persist with the study, aiming to observe the participants until their death, conduct autopsies, and analyze the data. However, Buxton didn't stop. He shared the story with journalist Jean Heller, who brought it to the public's attention.
For 7 years, I went around trying to throw the story over the transom of some newspaper reporter or some television person who would talk about it, who would make some inquiry at least. I talked to law professors, I talked to friends who were reporters. I was unable to get anyone interested until the second time I told a friend who was a reporter over dinner what I knew. And she, by then, knew me well enough to think about it. Are you sure? Did this happen? I mean, how do you know it happened? Do you have any documentation? I said, yes, I've got this much documentation on it. I mean, Xeroxes of the actual reports, where they were published, the dates and everything. She asked to see it, and that was the end of the silence.
The resultant outrage led to the study's termination. By then, the damage was severe. 28 participants had died, 100 experienced related health issues, 40 spouses contracted the disease, and 19 children were born with it. In the aftermath, an advisory panel convened in the 1970s declared the study ethically unjustified and recommended its immediate termination. Survivors were advised to receive proper medical care, leading to the Tuskegee Health Benefit Program. Congress held hearings in 1974, resulting in legislation to protect research subjects. A class action lawsuit led to a $10 million settlement for the participants and their families. In 1997, President Bill Clinton issued a formal apology, acknowledging the government's grievous moral wrong.
The United States government did something that was wrong, deeply, profoundly, morally wrong. We can look at you in the eye and finally say, on behalf of the American people, what the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry.
In 2004, the last participant, Herman Shaw, passed away.
In order for America to reach its full potential, we must truly be one America. Black, red, white together, trusting each other, caring for each other, and never allowing the kind of tragedy which has happened to us in Tuskegee Study to ever happen again.